For more than 40 years, an Egyptian mother named Sisa Abu Daooh dressed as a man simply to get by and provide for her family. This is an incredible story of persistence and bravery. Huffington Post reports, quote, "Last week she was awarded the Woman Breadwinner Award and was congratulated in person by the Egyptian president al-sisi. She was celebrated on Sunday in a ceremony at the Egyptian presidential palace, and she received a prize of about $6,500. Abu Daooh was pregnant with her daughter when her husband passed away in the 1970s, and she quickly found that in a traditional Egyptian society at the time, few jobs were available to illiterate women, and it was easier to find work dressed as a man. She took up jobs in brick making and shoe shining, but altered her appearance to avoid being harassed. She says, quote, "As to protect myself from men and the harshness of their looks and being targeted by them due to traditions, I decided to be a man, and dressed in their clothes and worked alongside them in other villages where no one knows me." That's an amazing story. What a hero this woman is, just to provide for her family and do the right thing. And you can't help but, your main takeaway from this, other than how courageous she is and brave she is and how brilliant she is, your main takeaway is culture can be a fucked up thing, man. When you have a misogynistic, sexist culture in place where it's like, women, know your place, get the fuck in the kitchen, shut the fuck up, you're not allowed to be out here with the men working. This is what we do. You don't do this. When you have a system that's so rigid and it has such strict gender roles, you're not allowing for real life circumstances to come into the picture. I mean, if your husband dies and your husband provided for the family and you need to support your kids, you have to do something. You have to go out into the workplace. And what about also women who just choose to go out in the workplace? To say to women across the board, all of you are the same, all of you have the same role, and we're going to tell you what it is, there's no other word for that except sexist and misogynistic. I mean, that's just a backwards ideology. That's a primitive ideology. I mean, here's the idea that makes sense to most civilized people. Freedom. So if a woman chooses to stay in the kitchen and play that traditional role, by all means, I'm not going to stop you. But if a woman chooses to go out into the workplace and make money and do what she's got to do there, by all means do that too. It's none of my business. It's your choice. But I want the society to not stand in your way if you choose certain paths. And what this story shows us is that there are certain paths that women take that there's just a big fucking brick wall in front of them where, because of religion and culture and stupidity, people go, no, it's always been not like this, so no. Well, that's not a fucking reason. So step aside and let women into their rightful place, which is an equal place as men.